brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program On Target. We are on RealFM 91.9. We are on YouTube, Facebook. And you can pick up the telephone and give us a call. The number to call is 442-0175. We're going to take off from right where we left yesterday. It seems that one of our callers felt that I was concentrating on the ills of the NDC and not on the positives. And yesterday, while in the Undertaker bar, I was again challenged to put some attention to the achievements of the National Democratic Congress. So I invite you today to call. And that sister had called yesterday. You gave about 3, and you say you had more. Call and tell us what is the achievement of the National Democratic Congress after 2 years in office. What is the achievement? What have they achieved beside winning the election? You pick up the telephone and give us a call. Cultureman, join in too. Tell us what the National Democratic Congress have achieved in this country from the time they won the election. I have always said that the NDC have done some positive things, but they are not inclusive. It's not an inclusive government. They seem to be very partisan. They're partial. They put emphasis on one sector of the country. And I advanced the view that a government must seek the interests of everybody in Grenada, particularly the people who needs government the most. Why do I say that? If an individual come out in a university with a master's degree or a bachelor's degree, you don't have to fight to get job for him. His training should have taught him to make jobs. You expect him to come back and help to create employment for people. Government don't have to bother with him much. If an individual is a businessman, a successful businessman, a lawyer, a professional, he doesn't need government involvement much. What that individual wants to know, that we have an independent judiciary, we have freedom of the press, and government taxation policy is not overburdened. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, sir, I just joined you.
Yes, I just asking. I was challenged yesterday that I was belaboring the ills of the NDC and not the positives. So I open the floor today for anybody to tell me what NDC have achieved since they come in office. But you still could bring in anything. It doesn't matter.
Well, I heard this activist, I will call her activist, try to challenge you on that, but I hope she could state some of the achievement, because I know they have not done much for the 2 years. So you told her to go ahead, I think, and I wanted to also tell you what said on this program, what is not correct. When she come in with her achievement, say what is not correct. I hope she is listening as she said she does. I heard the lady, not attacking the person, I don't know who that. Mr. Pierre, the Imani is under attack again. And I'm very much in sympathy with them. This government is calling on them to re-register. One of the managers asking me what do they mean by that? Re-register? They had to re-register everybody again. After there was promised permanent employment, you telling them now come and re-register? Imani lady almost cried. She said she feeling threatened because who did not go back and register, they lost their job immediately. The government is saying that they haven't got placement for some of the Imani. So I hope people take note the Imani is under threat. This is a program this government never loved. They never loved this program, which I know, as I will say like you, this is the best program in 100 years. There's been attack again because two just spoke to me about the threat they're under right now. So who don't know, let them open the ears and hear what is going on. A lot of things is not right. A lot of things. I don't know if you heard for your own self, Mr. Pierre.
You have been picking up things here and there.
Yeah. So I hope the lady comes.
Yes, I encourage anybody else, any new caller that want to tell me what the NDC has achieved, what is worthy of speaking about as a result of achievement of the NDC since the win election. They're 2 years on. They have 1 more year to go. After that, campaign would be in the fullest. After government make 3 years in office, the next 2 years is for campaign. And the only value our opposition have is to get rid of the government. Opposition don't have much value otherwise. Because winner takes it all, irrespective of how much the opposition will argue in parliament. The ayes have it. And particularly when you meet an arrogant government. So I open the door and hope we have some callers telling me what the NDC have achieved in 2 years. My brother, you spoke about the Imani program, and I want to re-emphasize that is the best program instituted in Grenada in the last 100 years. The Imani idea is not new. I think it springs a lot from socialist countries, where you have a number of young people in mass organization and mass groups, and they have a paramilitary part of it. They are involved in paramilitary. But what it does is to get a lot of young people off the street and functioning. In a democratic society like ours, they have no need for no paramilitary rule. But if you have high unemployment in a country, and that high unemployment is particularly among young people, after the NDC come out in office in 2008, 2013, government employ 3,000 to 4,000 Imanis, young people, and they gave them a stipend. The most important of it is money. That was the most important aspect. They give them an opportunity, a second chance. You did not do so well in school to be competitive on the job market. You have a second chance. Go and do CVA, CVQ, CVY. Get to go in college. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre, I will outline some of the achievements of this government. One is a line for the poor people of the country. A line for them telling them they're going to make them permanent, which you know definitely. What they're saying to the poor people is not the truth. They only say that to the people just to get a vote, and when they get a vote, they turn them back on them, they don't know them. Right? Instead of making them permanent, what they do, they making them contract. The same contract worker that the Prime Minister said that is illegal. That was illegal. Presently, right now, the same the illegal contract come now like a legal contract. That's one. Raiding the Greater Development Bank and changing the name of the Greater Development Bank to the NDC Ministers Bank. That's two. Number three, flying out of the country, they become pilots. Everyone become pilot, especially the head pilot, the head chief of the pilot, be moved outside the country than being in the country. And leaving a man leaving a man to as prime minister, the less fortunate of all, to govern. A man that has no vision, has no ideas. That too. A man that is corrupted, the most corrupted one in all the bunch. Right? Give the bounce check. Not only when he was outside, but when as president, as ministers, is second to give a bounce check. Selling place that he go in the bank to use that as a security. While the bank have that as a security, he's still going to other bank to use the same item as a security. Right? So, Mr. P, when you look at the track record, again that some people will be proud of it, and who will be proud of it is those that the government that have already, and the poor man and the poor women outside there that fighting hard, want to make a living and to make life better. What the government did again, the people are rubber stamp board to run the affairs of the Greater Development Bank. For people who is the friend to get, but people who they consider are not a friend, but what they should do is to consider we are all green, and the purpose of the money in the Greater Development Bank to help the small business, not the government, not the ministers, not the ministers, because the ministers they are there. They are ministers. They working for big money, and what they did again, Mr. Pierre, they increased the salaries of the ministers. I was saying again, he giving them more money because the money that they're working for, they're too small and they're gonna be corrupt. They'll be corrupted by getting that small money. But one day I want to see Prime Minister know that small money and big money do change a man DNA. More money you have, the more corrupt they become. And Mr. Pierre, I want to call upon the Ghanaian people. Don't take what them people tell them, because already interest in you come around by you, ask you to vote for them. But when you vote for them, it's same thing they're doing to you presently. They go do it back into you again if you continue to vote for them, because they want to pay their debt and they don't care about you.
Yes, Scott. Yes, so we open up members of the National Democratic Congress and callers. Call and tell us some of your achievements. Yes, caller, welcome.
Hey, afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
Mr. Pierre, I'm very proud of your program. Yesterday I heard a lady call, and she tends to be a spokesman for the other side, which is the NDC. And she was trying to highlight some of the things of the NDC, what they achieve. You know, through it all, Mr. Pierre, your program, the power of the democracy in the program, and that democratic process that you give the program, I really appreciate it. To me, we are now starting to build a new Grenada. We are allowing people to speak freely, and that is very good. You think she could have called on the Joneses program? I wonder we could have called on the Joneses program to say something like that. We'd have been kicked off. They'd have thrown stale pee at us and throw mess at us and all them kind of things. But I'm very happy to see the kind of tolerance that this program gives, and allow people to speak. It's a blessing. And I am saying to, our people, understand what is going on, because the only how you can know how these people thinking is to hear them speak. Look at the little achievements he calling about lunch in school, free lunch in school. People were getting lunch in school free, even though they were asked to pay $1. But there were children who couldn't pay $1 and they were getting free lunch. And they were even getting more food in their plate than what they're getting now. The complaint is that a lot of children saying that the food in their plate is less now, even though they're paying, even though they're not paying. So, it is a blessing to hear from the other side, people coming to say what they want to say. It's really a blessing. And this program is really a blessing to open up society and allow people to speak. We know that what some people call into defense of the NDC is nothing more than child play. Free lunch in school and water tank. They open a program where you could go in the GB, the bank, and get monies for water tank and all this kind of thing, But they are not talking about the real failure of the NDC in the sense of what they do with the money. Fishermen going inside it and they can't get loan. Farmers going inside it and they can't get loan. And they're not seeing these things to speak about. The real purpose of the bank, they have changed the real purpose. They have even break the laws. They disrespect the laws by taking money and giving it to ministers as loan. And these are the things they doesn't like to hear us speak about. But how could the NDC achieve when we know what they're doing is disrespecting the laws that they made, the things that they're supposed to respect, such as the laws of the bank and how the bank's supposed to run? They're plundering it. And they would not come out and tell us, they would not say to us, yes, they did all these things which is wrong, and we condemn it, and we asking them to change. They want to tell us about little soft thing about, they're getting free lunch and they're getting this. They are elected to do certain things and they are doing it, and these things are not really changing nothing in society. They're bringing a program for the school, up and out. I am telling you, for 100,000 people, that up and out program is going to hurt us in the future. It is going to hurt us real bad in the future if they don't come up with something to deal with it. This up and out is worse than condemning you. It's like passing you through a system that you know nothing about. It's like passing you through a system that doesn't even recognize you. Thank you, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller. So, yes, caller, welcome. You have another caller?
Hi.
Yes, caller.
A pleasant morning to all the listeners out there. I want to address the press conference yesterday with the Attorney General.
You got to speak a little louder or keep the phone closer to your mouth. And go ahead.
Are you hearing me better now?
Yeah, better, yes.
All right. I said I want to discuss the Attorney General's press conference yesterday.
Go right ahead.
I think it is unprecedented for an Attorney General to call a press conference to discuss a simple civil matter. Now, some time ago, I heard a radio broadcaster or a host of a show, made some utterances on a station. He said that, yes, he did use a phone that was given to him while he was not in the employ of government. He did admit he did it. And he did make some public utterances that he has agreed to make restitution to the state as such, and has sent a letter to the Permanent Secretary indicating that he would like to have a speedy resolve of this matter and would undertake a payment plan to repay whatever he's owed. I heard the AG yesterday. She went all around. She talked about the quantum interest and penalty. She has admitted that the gentleman did receive, the gentleman did send a letter to the government. But what I was disturbed with is that the AG never informed the Grenadian people as to the response of the permanent secretary. She conveniently left out that part. Now, if the gentleman wrote to the government asking to resolve a matter, I think it is incumbent upon the permanent secretary and now the attorney general to inform the public as to the response of the government, so the public can make a decision as to whether or not the goodly gentleman defaulted on the agreement, if there was one, and if there was one, what are the terms and conditions of the agreement, who made the agreement, and why is it today that the public have yet to hear any mention of whatever agreement was made, if there was one. And I say this to say because too many times I believe politicians get blamed for things where we omit conveniently the public officer. If a person is given a phone or a vehicle during his tenure as a government employee, when he demits office, if he does not return all the instruments that was given to him, the onus is upon the ministry and the permanent secretary is to simply write to the gentleman asking that the government properties be returned. In the case of the phone, I find it amusing that you would allow someone to continue to use a device for 3 years, paying for it, without it coming to the attention of the accounting officer that this is a matter that needs immediate attention, and by simple calling the supplier, the service provider, with a note to disconnect the line. Because obviously, if the public officer was doing their job, they would recognize that, look, that person is no longer in our employ, and the incoming person who is taking over from that person would need the services of that device and make it available. I recall a few years ago, many years ago, as leader of the opposition then, I was issued a diplomatic passport. About 48 hours after the election, 4 police officers was all over St. Andrews looking for me. And when they did find me, they requested that I hand over my diplomatic passport. I said, well, election just come. You know, just 48 hours ago, we had elections. What's the emergency? They said, well, you're no longer holding that position. And they immediately took the passport that was given to me. So I'm wondering now why the same protocol was not established in the case where a phone was given to an individual. Are we there?
Yes, scholar, you're saying you're making a lot of sense. What you're saying there is tobacco well pressed.
So I think the AG ought to come back to the public and unpack some of the things that she left in the cart. The AG need to come back to tell the public what was the government response to the goodly gentleman when he made the offer of restitution. Instead of coming now and talking about going to court and all of that, I think she should understand that government business is a continuum. Now, my final point is that I am always concerned when I see a political person trying to prosecute another political person. I remember clearly when the former government was in office, how much demonstration we had in Grenada against Hugh Wildman, because the government was talking about, the opposition then was talking about political prosecution. Having an attorney general coming today and talking about a civil matter, and the attorney general who is a political person, to me is clearly a case of political intimidation.
Yeah.
And political, well, it's not really witch hunt, because I would say the goodly gentleman has accepted responsibility. He has pleaded guilty to the matter. What was left was for the state to sit with the gentleman and hammer out an agreement and say, okay, why the need for a press conference? We had a situation where three violent offenders escaped legal custody and allegedly slaughtered two innocent people. We didn't get a press conference. We had situation where people were killed, shooting all over, gunshots in the town. We did not hear. We did not get a press conference to put the nation at ease as to what the state is doing to create a secure environment for the nation. We didn't get no press conference from that. I'm wondering, why is it a political person? And I'm very, very sensitive when it comes to a politician coming forward to prosecute another politician. I think we need to stop that. If there is matters that requires a prosecution, the Commissioner of Police is entitled under the Constitution to so, and the DPP. Mm-hmm. The Attorney General is the chief legal advisor to the government. It is not a prosecutorial arm of the state, and ought to remain from such petty politics as going after an individual over a simple civil matter. I thank you very much, Jason.
Yes, scholar, and you're correct, and it's a dangerous thing. And I constantly say, when we set precedent like that, it's going to come back to haunt us. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yes, scholar, welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar.
This government has done nothing in 2 years since taking office. Frustrating the youth, flying planes, coming back to the country with nothing for the country. Cost of living is sky high. Taking the cap off gas, making life harder for poor people. It's the poor people which are suffering. This government only cares for themselves, from the PM to all ministers. Salaries late each month. Gun violence. Now the Imanis will suffer. Mr. Pierre, where have you ever heard ministers going to poor people bank to get loans? This in itself is outrageous. Mr. Pierre, for Grenada to grow, NDC Moscow. The previous government had so much things in place for the youth. So much things. Now the youth is frustrated. Gun violence in Grenada. In all the years I've been here, I've never known the country to be so deady. Mr. Pierre, we have to stand up and get them out. For Grenada to grow, NDC Moscow. Have a blessed afternoon.
Yes, scholar, and you have the opportunity to call us and tell us what this government have achieved in the last 2 years. On my program, you could interrupt me in the middle of a sentence, and I'll give what you have to say, President. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Ask Michael Baptiste if he pay back the $50,000 you get from the Chinese.
Caller. They're going to do the same thing to you. The gentleman passed and he make a contribution. Are you taking issue with what he said? They're going to do the same thing to you. And I won't be able to defend you. Tell us what achievement the National Democratic Congress have made for the last 2 years. Yes, scholar, go ahead.
Afternoon, Mr. P.
Yes, Colaga.
And how are you today?
Great, man.
Yes, my dear. What goes around comes around. When you dig in a pit for your enemy, as the old saying go, dig two. Because sometimes you dig one and you self end up in it. The pit Claudette Joseph digging there for Sheldon Scott. She have to dig a other one because he have a lot of things she could call press conference for besides Sheldon Scott with the phone. Why she don't call a press conference for Andy and Lacret for the money, GBD money? Why she don't call a press conference for it? And he have many other things she could call press conference for. And that lady that called yesterday, she talking about what NDC achieved. That is all what NDC achieving. To lie, I had to say to thief, to do all kind of a wickedness to poor people, and to fool the pocket from the Prime Minister right on. To fool the pocket, that is what they achieve. She's talking about school feeding program. I have a grandson in school, in high school to be said. Sometimes the child says, sometimes because he just went. Sometimes it's a dry sandwich they're giving them for lunch. A sandwich, dry sandwich, perhaps with a little bit of juice. I knew before. The school around me here, sometimes I used to go and bring things for the school. When I look at the children lunch, some of the children have some salad, some other provision, rice, sometimes stewed chicken, sometimes baked chicken, and all this kind of thing in the lunch, and they used to get proper lunch. Don't pay the dollar, so they should continue let the children pay in the dollar still and give the children a good lunch. Free lunch, and those children sometimes don't even get nothing. So that is what she should go back and think about it. All the achievement is to bring down Grenada to nothing, in as worse as how it used to be. That is all they achieving. And tell them, the NNP people say, Sheldon, tell Claudette to leave Sheldon alone. Leave him alone because they have a lot of more things that they have to call press conference. So just leave Sheldon alone and do what they have to do. The traveling allowance money they have spending while all about for woman and man to go on trip and man and woman to go on trip and all kind of thing. Why she don't call press conference about that? Have a blessed day.
Thank you, caller. Yes, we open up the line. Tell us what the National Democratic Congress have achieved within the last 2 years in office. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Pierre. How are you?
Great, man.
All right. Mr. Pierre, there is something that people forget in this life. What you do now will later on come back to hurt you or haunt you. If you do good, according to the good book, the Bible says, he who humble himself shall be exalted. And as a result of that, if you are proud, you should be humiliated. The example in that is Nebuchadnezzar. Now, I am saying that to say, Mr. Pierre, how we treat people today will always surface tomorrow. If somebody has to say something good about you, don't give them the negative first. Give them the good. So let them continue to remember the good. But in between, they're going to be little hiccups, but they will always remember the good. Now, I understood a lot of things about Bible and life and what we do today. For example, how people treat people, governmental workers and other workers, it will always surface when time comes. I understand that they also is starting to build the 500 houses that they promised Grenadians. but they take away the contract from the Ministry of Housing, who in turn will supervise the building, and they give it to a foreigner, a foreign friend, so-called in bracket. And it's government money, or Grenadian money, or taxpayers' money that is spending. We have to be very careful with what we hear, what we see, and what have done, and what we intend to do with poor people monies in our country. Thank you very much, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar. We give you an opportunity today to call and tell us what the NDC have achieved in the last 2 years in office. What is their achievement? What they could boast about? Besides winning the election, what fundamental changes they made? What dramatic changes they made? What they do that was positive? Give us a call. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
Well, what we going to say, and we don't see nothing going.
But you must see something going. NDC must do something.
As what?
I don't know, but they must do something.
Huh.
They gave a tax break to businessmen and taxpayers. Millions of dollars. That must be a good thing for the businessmen.
Or for the businessmen?
Yes, they gave a tax break.
Ordinary people. Only for the businessmen.
Well, you're supposed to know the NDC is not an inclusive government. They're not the government for the ordinary man.
The businessmen sit down and nothing saying. They're good selling, fighting to sell, and they still don't say.
So if businessmen get millions of dollars in tax break, you want them object to that?
See these people and them going to the little market or the little shop and them in the area? It's really poor people that go in there.
Well, you didn't. The government is not for this group of people. The government is not inclusive.
And these people and them are getting the money. We don't get in it.
Well, the government is not for you.
Mr. Pierre, you don't watch people who come in your supermarket.
The government is not for you.
And you still say what we see they do?
Well, yeah, well, you know, and they gave a tax break to taxpayers.
And maybe for you, you must be getting it.
So you don't want me happy.
Yeah, because you have a business. So you have to rejoice with it. But the people and them, we are the poor people, don't see that.
Well, you have to choose a government that seeks your interests.
But
the NDC is not an inclusive government.
I was telling people, choose a government what seeking with interest. And they say Dr. Mitchell must go and go and pick up all kind of people on the roadside. To do what? To do us the same.
Plunder GDP.
To do us the same thing, Mr. Pierre? No, we cannot do that. I listen to the point. I listen. Oh, you have a lot of people outside. Who is this? A lot of people just jump and take somebody, put in Grenada, and we suffer the same thing. How what they can do in us? We cannot do that, Mr. Pierre. We cannot. The only person that could take ourselves in that hole. You see how the turtle dig that hole so deep. If we, Dr. Mitchell, don't put his foot in, we go dead. We cannot put people again to make us see more trouble. Mr. Pierre?
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, yes, caller, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, so I'm the person that called.
Yeah, go right ahead. Tell us some of the achievements of the National Democratic Congress over the last 2 years.
That's exactly why I'm calling. So yesterday I pointed out the WASH program. I believe I also pointed out the free meals in the schools. Today I'd like to continue. Just from the top of my head. If you want me to stop at any point, you can let me know. Okay? The pensions and gratuity, government paid that as they said that they would have done. The minimum wage order. So now the Imanis are no longer getting $700 and $900. They're getting $1,200. And I think that was a really good move on their part. Mm-hmm. Hello?
Go ahead.
yes, there were people who were living on, government lands for years and didn't have the title or the deeds to this land. The government have now, said to them, look, you can come in, and they're going to actually give them the deeds and title to that land, of course, with like small payments, or, with agreements that look okay, they can pay this or that or the other, but they're actually willing to, come to an agreement with them, which I think is really good as well. They've also been, I've seen on the news as well that, they've been, they had job fair the other day, and they were helping persons to improve their CVs and stuff like that, which I think is really good on their part as well. I've also seen that they've started to improve some of the basketball courts. Well, they've done one so far, I believe, and they have intentions of doing a lot more. They have intentions of doing the night landing. I'm not sure if they've started with that as yet in Carriacou. If I'm wrong, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I've heard the news mention it. I know they've also increased the number of flights to and from Boston, I believe. As I said, if I'm wrong, you can correct me. All right? But these are some of the things that I've heard on the news. So I'm not getting it from any other places. I know that they also have a spice replanting program in place as well. They've also been, giving out like small loans to, persons who wants to open up small businesses, which I believe is good as well. They've also paid back teachers the monies that was docked from their salaries under the previous government. They've also initiated the free tuition for persons who wants to go back to school at TAMCC, which I think is good, because $850, it's a lot of money. And as we normally say, the small man might not be able to afford such. So this is really good. And it's also going to help young people who wants to, get that second chance, or, these kind of things. So that as well, I believe is a really good thing on their part. What else from on the top of my head? You can add if you like as well, Mr. Pierre. That would be really nice. But these are just some of the things that I have at the top of my head that they would have done, and I think it's a really good thing. And we should try to highlight them a bit more. You understand? And I'm not just saying that because it's the NDC. Yes, the NMP have done some things, and they have done some things as well that what we would have improved on, or the NDC would have improved on. As we normally say, government is a continuum. So I think while it is true that you might like to highlight the bad, highlight some of the good as well. Let people know that, look, while there is some things that they can improve on, yes, there are still good things going on in the country, and they should try to take advantage of that. Whether you're NMP or NDC, all of us are Grenadians, and we should try to improve our lives.
Thank you, Color. We all are Grenadians. There's no good people and bad people in Grenada. All of us are good people that do some bad things sometimes. Yes, Color, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, sir.
Where that woman living? She is living in Grenada? So she take up all the lies and them what people think what never do yet. She come in and bring it as thing what they achieve. She know what is achievement, as though she don't understand what is achievement. Tell her, say, to go and learn what is achievement and then come back with her facts.
Yes, thank you, Color. So we open up today. Tell us 2 years is a significant period. And the National Democratic Congress is in a celebrating mood. Let us know what has been achieved. Yes, Color, welcome.
Mr. Pierre?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wonder what's going on. This is that achievement is real good achievement. What's going on with us? We don't smoke or we don't drink before we come? Huh? We smoking or we drinking before we come and talk? This is the old lie and them of the campaign. What come in this, that's why they have to be in power now, Mr. Pierre. And then since they come, nothing no start yet, you know. Achieve what? Are you talking about pension? Are you talking about free education? Or because normally, right now, a lot of children want to go and they cannot go because the no or whosoever say they can't work with that free. So that's the problem when they go out there and they get it all life or they hear they said their prime minister said if he can't stop lying them and lie the liars and them. You see the liars and them, they're already at Mr. Pierre. Trust me, they're already at.
All right, thank you, caller. You can give us a call. Culture man, let me hear you, man. Pick up the telephone, give us a call, and tell us in 2 years the NDC is celebrating. What are the achievements? What has been achieved? What they put in place? What has been done in 2 years? Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
You know, what I see that the NDC have done is that they as soon as they came to government, they fire all CJ's workers. They had 6 more months left to go on the contract. They fire them without paying them, and they told them that they're going to obtain the contract. Up to now, nothing. You understand? And that is wickedness. They're wicked and bad pay.
All right, so you could pick up the telephone. You have a caller on the line. Callers, you have an opportunity to tell us what are the achievements of NDC. Yes, go.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, welcome.
I don't see that giving back the teachers their money is an achievement of NDC. I don't see paying pension is an achievement of NDC. Anyway, there was a court case, and the court made the decision because long before NMP was paying pension. So I don't see what kind of thing that woman said about achievement. NDC was not an achievement. They had us to pay it. If NMP had won the election anyway, they had us to pay. So she better stop it. Giving back the teachers the dock salary, what they did not work for, is not an achievement of the NDC. That's a waste of time. That's because they didn't work for it. They didn't work for it. That's a political ply. So she better stop that old thing. Imani again, what she talking about the Imani? Is they're lying to the Imani? I did this job fair. Lie. I said I lies. Fix the road. Give the police the pay and grade. That is what they want. Give them. You promise them that. Give them. Don't sit there and only back in the back like you're pushing out your head. Your head go get cut off. Don't do that. Stop lying to the Grenadian public and tell the Grenadian public what you gonna do. What kind of achievement? The NDC haven't done nothing. The thing that they're doing right now is an achievement. Is because of the previous administration under the right Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. So she better stop what she's doing. It. I don't see no achievement that this NDC government more than making people go, stressing out poor people. Look at the state of the road. Look at the state of Mount Maurice. Mount Maurice Road, they're bad. They haven't done anything to that road. Look at it. People can't even pass there. Look at this road here. Going to Granville here. It mash up. What they're talking about, anything that is done right now is because it was started under the previous administration. Thank you, Mr. Pierre.
Thank you. Yes, pick up the telephone and tell us what the NDC have achieved in 2 years. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller.
I'm a if I come and explain some of those things to you. Listen to me. The NDC, the jobs salary they pay, the cooks are working for $400 a month. Oh, you know what they're getting now? $500. The cleaners are getting now $300 and $400 a month. You know what they're getting now? $1,200. I tell you the minimum wage in this country. That is one of the greatest achievements in this country. For everybody, every poor man in this country. The NMP government, they work the poor and vulnerable people for $45 a day and $30 a day for 9.4 years. The government is going to like the poor and vulnerable.
Caller, go ahead. You're gone. Yes, caller, welcome. We have another caller on the line? Go right ahead, caller.
Program in the school area. Because we have a certain supermarket stop careers in the school because they cannot pay back the school money for the program.
All right, we're struggling to get you. You could pick up the telephone and give us a call. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, you talking to me?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes.
Mr. Pierre, I am ashamed. I'm totally ashamed of this government. Mr. Pierre, that young lady, I don't know what she's talking about. Because all what she's saying to us right now, the young lady, is a recycling everything the NMP was doing. And they claiming it for them, for themselves. The businessmen, the money they give to the businessmen, they're not passing the profit on to the consumer. So the people here, they're hungry. We're hungry, yes. But the dollar cannot get far. They're not doing nothing for us, Mr. Pierre. Mr. Pierre, I don't know what they're talking about. We want our Prime Minister at this time to be accountable and be transparent to the Grenadian people. We're calling on the journalists to have a press conference with the Prime Minister to explain to the people, the Grenadian people, what is he doing. He's not doing nothing. We cannot see no development in the country. What we see, that's what we could talk about. Not doing something in the corner and they're expecting us to talk about it. We're not seeing nothing. There is no development. Instead, look at Grenada as a whole. Grenada is going down. Look at the other country. Whenever the Prime Minister go out or the Minister go out, they come back and they be accountable to the people. This government is not doing that. They're looking at us as if we are nothing. And every time you see, the pocket is full. The pocket is full until it's overflowing. What are we getting? Talking about the school children meals? Our previous government was doing that. I heard children say they eat plenty food today. During the time of the previous government, they was eating plenty food. When the daddy say, so why? Yes, they cook the dumpling and peas, but the lady forget to put the dumpling in it, right? That's why the children was getting food. They was getting rice and peas and chicken. They was even getting oil down. What are they getting now? Nothing. So they just want to telling people they could do better than the previous government. Dr. Keith better come back quick. And we as Grenadian people open our eyes and see what's happening to us, right? When the good doctor come, each time he come to repair, he come to fix, he come to build, because the present government, all the NDC government, they break down. All they do, they're breaking down. They have no ideas. They cannot build the country. Look at poor Dr. Keith when he come, go to the neighboring island and begging them for money to pay salary, because when they leave the country, when they leave their job, the treasury is empty. But he makes sure he left. There was plenty money there to do better than before. So they can't say anything concerning Dr. Keith. We want the good doctor back because he's only one who could do the operation good. Tell NDC to go home. Tell NDC. We as Grenadian people, we must stand up and fight for what we want. Because if not, crap will smoke our pipe, and it could be good back too. So tell them to go.
Yes, thank you, caller. And we have room for one last shot, caller. Please tell us what the National Democratic Congress has done. Yes, caller.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, we have something going good with the NNP government. When 2008, the little road workers, he was going real good. When we get a little money on the road, we could have buy a mattress, we could have buy whatever, and we still have. 2008, NDC government come, they mash it up, they take we little money from us, we working for nothing. Then they come now and I thought the girl would have tell you the achievement what NDC make by breaking down the poor people boots and throw it on the side of the road, because I'm looking for she to say that, but she didn't say that. So, Mr. Pierre, I just say to the people and them, I just all time say that, and every day I call, I go say, Grenadians deserve the government they have, and That's it. Until we have to wait again and fight. He was getting 2 years, they go get 3 years just now. And the next 2 years coming probably is campaigning. And then we're listening them now to hear what they go come and say, what they go achieve and what they go give the Imani and what they go give the poor people. The bath, the washer, whatever. NMP was doing it. People was getting it. So I don't know what she's talking about. But 14, as they will say, the young go grow it out. Have a nice day.
Yes, scholars. So today we spend some time encouraging, people to say what we have a next one. So we take our next caller. Caller is the last caller. Go right ahead.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon to you and your listening audience.
Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, don't you know that there is an increase in growth of 5% in the economy? The finance minister broke that news last night, Mr. Pierre.
You have 5% increase in the economy?
Yeah, and hear what they say they're doing with the money. You want to hear?
Yeah.
The police headquarters they're doing on the carnage, the money is going there. You see the St. Paul's police station, Mr. Pierre?
Yeah.
The money is also going there.
Okay.
Mr. Pierre, you know the project in Livera?
You're using last caller, so time on you.
Yeah.
So punch.
The guys start running finance saying there is surplus and there is growth, and give expectation of 5-point-something%. Who is complaining? Who is really balling here? People are saying the economy is bad, but the guys inside there are saying things are good. I heard a caller talk about Happy Hill Road and Molyneux. That fall under the past PM, and nothing was be done. And now the government is working on that road and moving speedily. In a few months, the road gonna be fixed, Mr. Pierre. I think we must give.
That's why we asking to tell us what they have achieved.
Well,
now we're spending time going back on the other government rather than telling us what they have achieved.
Mr. Pierre, they pay minimum. They address the minimum wage issue. They address the pension restoration. A caller a while ago talking about.
Thank you, caller. We come to the end of our program today, caller.
Mr. Pierre.
Caller, we come to the end of the program. So we just rounding up to say that we open up this program for people to give their views. Your views and your opinion don't have to be politics. This program on target is about politics, religion, any issue trending, and you can raise issues. You could even talk about romance, anything on the program. It gives people an opportunity to express themselves, to practice their democracy. We encourage people just be respectful, but we don't make much rules. And we discourage people from attacking one another. We must be able to sit down and exchange ideas without going after one another personally. All Grenadians are good people. But good people must do some wrong things. All of us fall short of the glory of God. We're back with you tomorrow again between 12 and 1 for another opportunity to punch. Thank you very much.